The opinions expressed in the Brothers-in-Law show are for informational purposes only and are not a substitute for personal professional legal advice.
Thanks for tuning in to Brothers-in-Law on Go Country 105. I'm Larry Mandel.
And I'm Rob Mandel.
And we've been trial attorneys here in Los Angeles for over 40 years.
On our show, we will discuss current events, talk about legal issues, and have some very entertaining guests stop by. So stay tuned every week for Brothers-in-Law right here on Go Country 105.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Mandel.
And I'm Larry Mandel.
And we are the Brothers-in-Law. And welcome back to another Zoom edition of Brothers-in-Law. And we want to give a big thank you to all our listeners and to the mortgage mom for all her valuable information, because we just love following her.
We have a very special guest today with us. Usually we have some...
We do.
Yeah, we have a clever story to introduce our guests usually, but this guest does not need any setup story or introduction. We are so happy to have with us today Tim Hurley from the morning show right here on Go Country 105.
Oh, yeah.
Tim, thanks for joining us today.
Tim Hurley.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, welcome to the show, and we're so happy to have you. We're going to be airing some of these responses to our commercial that asks listeners to call in and nominate a person or a local group that's going above and beyond for the community during the coronavirus crisis. And we've had a tremendous response. Producer Cam has a few of these messages that we're going to call. And we're going to call some of these folks and thank them properly. Right, Larry?
That's right. And we're going to present some type of gift to show our gratitude. So you cool with us while we're calling and reaching out to some of our listeners.
Hi, my name is Greta Evans, and I want to nominate my two friends, Nicole and Will, for going above and beyond to raise money, shipping masks and PPE equipment to local businesses and hospitals that take care of patients. And they have raised so much money, taking so much of their time and hearts, and it just amazes me. And I think these two people really need to get some appreciation for everything that they've been doing. Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Greta Evans.
So, hey, let's call Greta and Nicole and Will back.
Yeah, let's see how they're doing and get them on the show.
With Tim Hurley.
Love it.
I'm so happy to be here, and this is producer Cam, and I have Bretta and Nicole on the line, so you guys can talk to them. Bretta, we just played your message on air, nominating Nicole and Will.
Bretta
Okay.
and Nicole, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, hi.
Hey, you're
Yes,
on the
Larry.
air with us, and we also have Tim Hurley here in the studio with us.
Oh, hello.
Hello, guys. I'm the morning host at Go Country 105, and I'm happy to be on the show here with Rob, Larry, and Cam. And I want to thank you personally for your service as well. Everything that you're doing for the community. You're a true Go Country representative as well.
That's right on. Thank you so much, Nicole and Will, and for doing what you do.
It's so important that people like you guys are out there.
Oh, yeah. And to go into a little bit more detail, they were actually traveling around Asia right before all of this pandemic blew up to what it is. And when Nicole came back, Will stayed in Singapore, and Nicole was able to see firsthand the need for masks and other PPE in our community. And like she said, she was saying that it really felt like a moral obligation that, they had this opportunity. They spent so much money of their own money to bring especially masks in our community, and so much that it drew such a large attention that they started their own nonprofit, and it's just helped so many community members, including my brother, who is actually a nurse. So
Wow.
I couldn't help but to nominate them.
That's fantastic.
Well, we need more people out there like you guys.
Tim, what?
Support, to be totally honest. We were able to throw a few $1,000s together to get it started, but we raised over $10,000, and we've donated over 50,000 masks and 25,000 gloves and some other miscellaneous supplies.
Awesome.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And Tim, what words do you have for?
We have a donation page at ppe-express.org.
Say that one more time.
If anybody wants to donate or if they need donations, you can go to our address at ppe-express.org.
Okay.
And there's a contact.
Okay,
page.
that's ppe-express.org.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Hey,
Okay.
we have a special gift certificate for you all for doing what you do, and we want to thank you again. We have a Whole Foods gift certificate of $100 to thank you for
Wow. Thank you.
all the hard work that you're doing out there.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
Oh, you deserve a lot more than that.
Yeah.
But that's what we got for now, and we're gonna let you guys go back to the great work you're doing. Thank you so much again.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
See you guys.
Such a great example of what you can do locally within our community. Just it
Right.
might seem like a small task, and then it can grow and grow and grow into something so impactful for everybody around. That's
Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah.
So Tim, how you doing? How you holding up during the COVID craziness?
I'm good. It's funny for me. I'm busier now than I was before because I feel like, and as you guys are too, you have to fill a role now. People have a lot of time, and so we're trying to do whatever we can to keep. I love your show, but so a little bit differently for me is we're trying to provide a little bit of entertainment and take people's minds off of it as best we possibly can, at least for a few hours a day, and just try and get some laughs and get some smiles. But I tuned in to watch you guys, and I saw you with Kiki, and it's so informative. It's awesome that in these times you're just there as a community resource as well, not necessarily all for law, but also for, just representing people within our community that are doing work on their own, and it's awesome.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really
man.
appreciate
your
that.
show is so fun, so good.
Yeah.
And we try not to miss it.
Yeah. Are you finding that you're getting more listeners now that because a lot of people are more at home and they're listening while they're driving, things like that?
I think typically, probably the majority of our listeners are usually tuned in when they're driving to and from work. But now it's a totally different market, I feel like. So it's people that a lot of people aren't able to do the morning commutes anymore because they're, working from home. So now we get a lot of people that are with their kids and they might be looking for an escape for a few hours when they wake up. It's like, we're the entertainment at home. So it's a bit of a different format that way. I'll tell you, doing traffic is a whole lot easier right now.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, that's for sure. I wonder if radio will become more prominent or even more important during this crisis and beyond to some extent. What do you think?
Well, it's interesting. We obviously we're broadcasting every day on the air, but we're also focusing a whole lot on social media. So on our Facebook and Instagram pages, we're doing live shows. We're doing a whole lot of video components too. We're just trying to give as much content as we possibly can to keep people engaged throughout this whole pandemic. We want to make sure people have a smile on their face. That's what we're here for. We're not the doctors. We're not the ones really helping the community. We're just trying to keep people positive and put a smile.
Right.
Make them
keep
feel
them informed and keep them uplifted as much as possible.
Make them feel good, Tim, and you're doing it.
They make us feel good too. It goes both ways. When our listeners call in or they send messages, I'm sure it's the same way with you. When you get calls like the one you just played, how good does that make you feel? It's the communities coming together, and we'll all get through this together.
We're Larry and Rob Mandel, the brothers-in-law, here on Go Country 105. Do you have a legal issue you need help with? We want to hear from you.
Find us on Instagram and send us a message. Then tune in on Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on Go Country 105.
Do you need help feeding your family right now? We all know that schools are closed, and some kids rely on free or reduced price meals at school. Visit
fns.usda.gov/meals4kids to find a grab-and-go meal center near you. They are offering 2 grab-and-go meals for kids. Again, please visit www.fns.usda.gov/meals4kids. 4 is the number 4. And let's make sure all the kids are fed.
Now, Tim, where are you from originally?
You're going to laugh because I'm actually from Rhode Island.
Nice.
Not exactly country music mecca.
Yeah.
but
Rhode Island is a wonderful place.
Yeah.
And but yeah, you don't sound like a Rhode Islander.
Ever since I was in college, people used to say I had the drawl, which is pretty funny. I spent a lot of time, and even weirder, my mother was from Germany.
Wow.
As we say in Rhode Island. So there's really, I don't know why I have a drawl in the accent, but I spent a lot of time in Utah. I used to live out there. Maybe I picked it up out there. I don't know.
And when did you first get involved with country music as a performer? Because you're also a country music artist.
Exactly. So I've been a fan. Being from Rhode Island, it's not exactly what most people listen to, growing up. So definitely was not what I listened to growing up. I went to college. My roommate was from Denver, Colorado, and that's all he would listen to. He was a total cowboy, and his name was Walker. And for 3 years, he tortured me. He was one of my best friends. I'm like, all right, you win. I'm in. I love it.
Who was the first country artist? Who was the very first country artist that you said to yourself, okay, now that I like?
It was, you just put me on the spot. It's a Sugar.
Sorry.
Because I know the exact song. It was actually Sugarland. And I'm going to have to Google the song to get the title. But that was the one where I'm like, the songwriting, the lyrics. I'm like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. And, you're going college. It's like you got crushes on all the girls and stuff. It was definitely a love song. So I was like, I can get behind this.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you also play the guitar. You sing and play the guitar. And when did you pick it? And so did you pick up the guitar when you were young and you were playing rock and roll and then you transitioned?
Not at all. So I was always an athlete growing up. I really never played in a band. I was never musical in any way. And then I was a country music fan. I enjoyed it. And actually the story is, man, I think this goes back to, 2012. So not that long ago, but I remember I'm a huge Kenny Chesney fan. And we close out every single summer. He does 2 shows at Gillette Stadium outside of Boston, Foxborough Stadium. And so I close out those shows. And one year when he was really in his prime, it was touring with Tim McGraw. I think I was by myself. I spent $650. I've been going to those shows for so many years. And I was like, I really want the seats right at the stage, where you can stand up and you can basically touch the stage. So I paid, I think it was something crazy. It was like $650. None of my friends were willing to drop that kind of change. It was nuts. But I was like, all right, I'll do it. And I remember standing right next to the stage. And so he's looking out, and I think it's like 65,000 people at Gillette. So I'm standing, my shoulder's probably at where his ankle would be. And I'm just seeing what he, and you just see the way that people respond to like every movement and they're singing along. And I was hooked. So I went home, talked to my mom.
That is addictive.
Oh, it's insane. So I was like, that's what I want to do. And I could barely strum a guitar. So I bought a $50 guitar, and I'd written a little bit. I was actually an English major in college, so I kind of had that. So I started writing songs. And then the same spring, which is just bizarre, but I was singing karaoke at a bar a couple hundred yards from my house. And somebody spotted me and asked me if I was a professional. Definitely not. I won't bore you with that whole story, but he introduced me to a guy in El Paso, Texas. So the first time I ever performed with a band, ever performed on stage, did anything actually musical in my life, I was opening for John Michael Montgomery at Fort Bliss in front of 10,000 people.
Oh, man.
Fantastic.
What a way to open up.
And that takes a little bit of Quavos, if I may. That takes some guts, man.
Guts or whiskey, one or the other. I don't know.
There you go. Maybe a combination. Hey, and so
you can
Tim,
see it through whiskey glasses.
Yeah. So Tim, when did you write Start It Like This?
So Start It Like This was actually the first song that I ever co-wrote, and that's how they do it in Nashville. Is you introduce yourself to a bunch of different songwriters, And so I wrote that one with a guy named Mitch Schoenman, and it was the very first co-write that I ever had. And we met up, and I'll give Mitch a lot of credit. He had most of the song written already, and I loved it. And so I dove in and I did a lot of the verses, and then we just pieced it together, got the melody, and that's where that one came from. We liked it.
That's a great song, and I love the video.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we did that video. My buddy did it for me for free. Eric Lacco is a great director, and we did it in about 2 hours at the bar, actually, the Prince of Wales, which is where I was discovered singing karaoke. So it's all
wow. Nice. Yeah.
Now, how tough is it right now for people in the industry? Now, you can't play in front of people right now. I mean, not live, not immediately. So how difficult is that?
Well, I feel very fortunate. Obviously, working with Go Country, just income-wise, that's huge. And then also Go Country has given us the outlet to perform live on Facebook and Instagram twice a week, which is super nice of them to do. But for people that rely on touring, I'm actually fortunate in that I haven't gotten to that level yet where we're touring full-time.
Right.
It sounds funny because, of course, that's what the goal is. But for people that are at that level, they're really struggling right now because there's no way to generate income. And the way that the industry has changed so much, it's really difficult to make money on album sales. So we're talking about real livelihood issues with those artists where people, how they generate their income. And
besides Nashville, we probably have the largest concentration of country artists and music, people who depend on the music industry for their livelihood anywhere, right here in Southern California.
Absolutely, for sure. So, I mean, it's certainly anything in the arts and entertainment is definitely struggling right now. The country music community is so strong that I think people really embrace the artists that are doing the live performances online. And, it feels a lot longer than it actually has been, but you hear about these big tours getting canceled over the summers. Every single big artist has canceled their tour for 2020. But I think in the fall, you're going to see a huge surge once all of this stuff is lifted. Feels like it's coming back quick. Once it's all lifted, I think you're going to see a big surge.
And hopefully we can just get right back into some normal stuff here. But I have a feeling it's going to be a little more gradual. And we're going to have to take a little more precautions and see how the spikes and the spread of the virus goes. But hopefully we can, by the end of the year, we're back to some normal activities and going to concerts and things like that.
Have you suffered or been injured by someone else's negligence? When you need a legal team that will stand up for what is right, won't give up the fight and obtain justice, call 818-886-6600. Mandel Trial Lawyers specializes in personal injury cases of all types. Whether it's a car accident, product or premises liability, dog bite, or a catastrophic injury, Mandel Trial Lawyers are there for you when the fight is worth it. Call now for your free consultation. 818-886-6600. Let the scales of justice tip in your favor.
Hey folks, do you want to volunteer to help out during the crisis? The Red Cross still needs volunteers in a variety of capacities during COVID-19. Volunteer opportunities include supporting blood donations and delivering much-needed services to your community. They even have a wide variety of remote work-from-home opportunities available. Go to redcross.org/volunteer to sign up. That's redcross.org/volunteer. Hey, if you missed any part of this show or you just want to hear it again, go to brothersonlaw.com for all of our previous shows and all things Brothers on Law.
So, Tim, where can people find and listen to your music now?
Well, we're on, all the normal outlets. So YouTube, obviously, iTunes, Spotify. And this pandemic has been funny for us because we've been writing so much. We have so much time now that we're actually able to write new songs. And the way recording happens, we're actually able to record songs now, too, which is awesome. So we'll have a lot more. But, on all the normal channels. So Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, all that good stuff. So.
Is there a new song coming out?
We actually... This feels even weird to say. We actually have 5 in the works right now, so we are ready.
All right.
Very.
Are these all upbeat songs? We got some ballads. What are we talking about?
I'm notorious for the ballad. That's just what I like to write.
Love songs. Why not?
Easy to sing.
How about you have any that are expressing your feelings about the lockdown and not being able to, socialize during the coronavirus, anything like that?
You know what's funny is I really veered away from that. And to answer your question, I do have some good upbeat songs coming out because it's something I really wanted to focus on. So I guess to answer your question, it's not necessarily about the lockdown, but it's about the life I want to live when we're out of it. So we got songs about the beach and like just good vibes, travel.
Yeah.
And
Positive
I like
note.
that.
I like it. Upbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, we have one more listener that left a message about someone that they think is going above and beyond. And let's take a listen.
Hi, Larry. My name is Colleen McKay, and I listen to your show every Saturday morning. I think this is amazing that you're doing this. My friends and we are all wildlife rehabbers. And the person that I would like to nominate, her name is Kim Bacher. She lives and has a rehab. She rehabs out of her home, and she lives in Pasadena. She works in Pasadena at a veterinary clinic. And as you know, wildlife doesn't know holidays. It doesn't know the coronavirus. It doesn't know anything. So we have been taking in animals upon animals, and she has taken in squirrels, rabbits, raccoons, possums, all kinds of wildlife, birds of prey, you name it, and she has rehabbed it. And she cares for them 24 hours a day. She doesn't sleep. She doesn't eat. And she works at a veterinary clinic, and she does some amazing things. And she also helps all of us with special care that we need for all of our animals. And I truly do believe she is a local hero. And she really does amazing work. And it's really nice that someone is looking out for the wildlife because they don't understand. They don't know what's going on. Thank you so much for doing this. This is an amazing opportunity. Bye-bye.
Wow. Let's get Colleen and Kim on the phone.
Producer Cam, can you do it?
Yep, I have Kim on the line now. Go ahead.
Hello, Kim. You're on the line with the Brothers on Law and Go Country Morning host Tim Hurley.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Kim.
I'm okay. How are you guys doing? Everybody healthy?
Yeah, we're doing well. Thank you very much. And we want to thank you for all that you're doing for the wildlife community. That's just really, really good. Kim, how many animals are you caring for at this time?
Currently, I have 10 bottle baby raccoons that I have to feed by bottle or syringe, and 2 squirrels that are weaning off the bottle and onto regular food, and a couple fledgling doves that have fallen out of nests.
Wow.
Well, as a animal lover, wow.
How do you find these animals? Or do people bring them to you?
I do not go out looking for them. People call me. I work with local ASPAs, ASPCAs, and shelters and Good Samaritans. And a lot of people call and come into the clinic I work at and bring things out also. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, my name's out there. I've been doing this for a few years, so everybody knows about me and they contact me. And we have a really great network of rehabbers that there's a group text that goes out, and anybody that's local, hey, can you take this? This was found so-and-so's place. Then whoever can get it jumps in and says, I'll do it. So we network an awful lot.
No, this
that's
nomination,
fantastic.
Yeah, nomination
And
is
Kim,
well deserved. Go ahead, Rob.
Kim, what we're going to do is we're going to send you some gift certificates from Target and from Ralph's to help you out, okay? And to thank you for what you're doing during this very stressful time for all of us.
Yeah, that's for sure. Thank you so much. Anything is appreciated because the animals can go through a lot of food and they get baby toys and all kinds of stuff, so they're well cared for.
Yeah,
okay.
you are their voice, Kim. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're Larry and Rob Mandel, the Brothers-in-Law, here on Go Country 105. Do you have a legal issue you need help with? We want to hear from you.
Find us on Instagram and send us a message. Then tune in on Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on Go Country 105.
From all of us on the Brothers on Law show, we want to give a big thank you to these sponsors who we've partnered with to help honor our local heroes and groups for going above and beyond for their community. We'd like to thank Ralph's, Whole Foods, Target, and Chipotle. Thank you for all you do in our community.
Can we talk to Tim for another minute or two?
Sure, why not?
I know, Tim. You got nowhere else to go, right, Tim?
Yeah.
Your enthusiasm.
And Tim, just so you know, you're on the morning show, right?
Yeah.
And if people, how long is the show?
It's about 4 hours. We're on from 6 to 10 a.m. every day. So.
Wow. That's a lot of work. We do a half-hour show, and I'm just exhausted after.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? How do you manage to keep things going for 4 full hours?
Well, luckily, it's not a full talk show. You know, we're playing music in between, so I got the break there. But I will say waking up at 4:30 in the morning was the biggest lifestyle change I've ever had to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone, unless you get your own radio show.
Wow. That takes some dedication.
Stamina.
Yeah.
Stamina. Yeah.
Stamina and dedication.
Yeah. That's
Do you
great.
remember Mark and Brian on KLOS? Were you around when they were on the air?
So this is my very first radio gig ever. So I've only been in radio for not even 12 months. But
Okay.
I know who you're talking about for sure.
Yeah, they were on the air for 25, 30 years here in LA. And every morning I would listen to them on my way in. And now, of course, I listen to Tim Hurley.
That's right.
But,
You better.
you know, I've always been amazed at someone who can keep things lively and fun for hours on end. And, you know, it is a service to the community. It really is.
You know, when I was,
Sorry.
go ahead, Tim. No, go ahead, Tim.
It's sort of like a live show in a lot of ways, you know, and it's the only difference is you can't see your audience, which is tricky sometimes, but you know, we just try to feed off the energy that you have from the stories and what's going on in the world. And then we do have callers call in and stuff. So you can kind of, you know, it's a two-way street for sure, as I'm sure you guys know as well. When they call in, when they're feeling good, then you feel good, the energy, and the good. So that's how you roll.
And you're making
makes it.
Yeah, it makes you feel good because you're making other people feel good.
That's it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
Right.
Good stuff. I
That's
think
the
it's
payoff.
Hey, Rob. I think it's Tim and Rob. I think it's about time to wrap up our show and say goodbyes until next Saturday. And if you've
So Tim, thank you, man, for being on our show. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate you
Absolutely.
guys having me, and thank you for everything you're doing. It's awesome to have a resource when people have questions. You guys are so accessible. They can call in and you guys answer them in layman's terms, which we really appreciate. It's not confusing at all. So you guys do a real service. So thank you.
Well, we try. Thank you,
Yeah,
Tim.
that's right. Thanks again, Tim.
All right.
And, you know, if you've missed any part of the show and you want to hear a previous show, you can go to YouTube or brothersonlaw.com, or you can listen to us on iTunes or Podbean.
And if you have a legal question or you want to suggest a show topic, or especially if you want to nominate that local hero that's helping out during the coronavirus crisis, call us and leave us a message at 800-310-7113.
Again?
800-310-7113.
All right. And a big thank you to all our listeners, and stay safe out there. We look forward to being here next week on Saturday at 8 a.m. on Go Country 105. And remember,
Let the scales of justice tip in your favor.
The opinions expressed in the Brothers on Law show are for informational purposes only and are not a substitute for personal professional legal advice.